Hi, this is Kathi Quinn with Floriani. Floriani is a division of R&K Distributing, and I want to welcome you to this week's Project of the Week. Well, we've started going through our new features that are so much fun, and I used the Cutwork feature to do a little project this weekend, and I absolutely love it. So let me show you a quick and easy way to do Cutwork. Alrighty, we're going to just come into our shapes, and I'm just going to be simple. In fact, I'm going to be so simple, I'm just going to draw a shape. I'm going to go ahead and go to our artwork tools. I'm going to select a rectangle. Kind of boring, but you're going to love this. So I've got this as a rectangle. I'm going to select it. I'm going to come over and turn my properties back on. I had them turned off. So came up here to my upper toolbar right between my gear and my redo undo buttons, and this is your property. So if you close it, if you happen to close your properties, and sometimes I close it so I can look at my sequence view a little better if I'm moving stuff around. Well, once I've closed it, the easy way to get it to come right back is to left mouse click on your properties icon. So now that I've got this selected, I'm going to come to transform, and I'm going to make this a 6 by 6. Wow, I drew that pretty good. Woohoo. Okay, 6 by 6. Now I'm going to fit this to screen. Now I've got right now, if we come and look at my grid, so let's look at what I have my grid set at, and I'll show you why that's important to me. I'm going to say snap to grid lines, and I'm going to go to my grid settings, and I'm at 1/2 inch. That's perfect. I'm going to do a 1/2 inch cut work square that maybe I want to run some ribbon through, or maybe I just want to do a border on a little cocktail napkin or along a cuff. I mean, there's so much you can do. So now that I've got this and I have this at 1/2 inch, I'm simply going to copy and paste, and I love having these icons right here. You notice, isn't this cool? 6 by 6. I'm going to hit my copy paste, and I'm going to transform this one to 5. So it's going to be an inch smaller. That gives me right there. Now what I'll do is I'll select all items. Let's come right here to our alignment tool. I'm going to center selected objects. So now I have my square centered in a 5 inch center right here. So I've got 1/2 inch all the way around. Now this is artwork. So what I'm going to do now is, with it all selected, I'm going to combine this, because what I want it to do is I want it to see this edge and this edge, because I want to put my cut work in this border. So the only way to do that is to make a piece of artwork that'll go around both edges. So I'm going to combine. Well, let me just show you what I'm talking about. That's probably easier. If I have this selected, and let's just select them both, and I come over here and I hit auto cut work, you've got the two. Now I don't have the ability, it's not giving me the ability to draw my little lines in between, because what it sees is two objects that have one side. To us, we've got two sides, but the software is saying, where's your second side? I need a second side. So undo is our friend. We are going to select all, and I'm going to combine them. Now that they're one object, when I hit my auto cut work down here at the bottom right hand corner, remember last week we looked at white work lace. This week we're going to look at cut work. I'm going to left mouse click, and now notice my cursor isn't a hand anymore, it's the little line. So now, and because I have snap to grid, I thought I had snap to grid on, let me check. I like having snap to grid lines, snap to grid, yes I do. It makes sure that my lines snap straight to my grid. Now I say that and I can see without a doubt this one is not exactly straight. And I think it's because this isn't all exactly on the grid lines. Okay, that's all right. We're just going to go. And so now I'm just holding my left mouse key and dragging, drag, and it'll only drag to the next one. It'll only grab. Now I'm going left, I'm going, doing my horizontal now. And left mouse click, drag, left mouse click, drag. And I am going all the way around this using the snap to grid to hold this, to make these lines real straight and nice. Now those corner lines are a little off. You notice all of them are. I needed to make sure this was set on the grid line better. But it still shows you what we're doing. So we're good. Now the same thing here. There we go. Almost finished. There we are. Okay, so we have all of our divisions going. So I'm going to right mouse click and it's going to generate. Now I could move any of these if I didn't like how they were. I could, change them, make them farther. But I've got them snapping to grid so they get on really good. Now let's see what we actually have here. If I click my plus in my sequence view, and I click that plus, it shows me I've got a few little things here. I've got one, let's zoom in. It's going to stitch this line and this line. It's going to stitch the parameter. Let's go ahead and stitch it and we'll look. It's easier to look at it that way. Put it back to screen. First thing it's going to do is it's going to stitch onto our fabric. It's going to stitch right there. Now you notice I didn't have this inner one right on the grid line. That's why that was going a little crooked, because I told it snap to the grid. Now what this will do is it will stitch directly onto our fabric. Now what I did is I hooped 2 pieces, and I did that for my own protection. I hooped 2 pieces of Floriani Wet and Gone Stabilizer. Now the reason I did 2 isn't so much I needed all that support, but more importantly, if I snipped a little bit through one, I wouldn't snip through the back one, because you still need your stabilizer there till this is all built. So once these do, you come in with your scissors and you trim this fabric out. You trim all the fabric out, the whole piece. Once that's trimmed out, now watch what happens. Now the next thing it's going to do is it's going to start going around where you've trimmed, that edge where you've trimmed your fabric, and it's going to go ahead now and it's going to do all of our bridges. Once the bridges are done, it's going to go ahead and now stitch over all the ends of those bridges so you don't see them. They're hidden. And you have just created the most beautiful piece of cut work. Now let's say I was putting this on a napkin. I could have turned this on point. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and turn it on point, 45 degrees. I could have turned it on point. Now with it on point, I could have come in and I could have said, you know what? I want to put a monogram in that. So I could have gone to text, monogram, could have clicked in here, and I could have put my monogram in here and centered it. And that just beautiful napkins with a little cut work around the edge. So you can have a ball with this cut work tool. Now this would have stitched on the fabric as well, because the only fabric that's missing is the one where you cut it out for cut work. How easy and amazing is that to do cut work with a one-click wonder? It is absolutely phenomenal. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's lesson on the Cutwork tool. Next week, we'll look at one of our other new tools. So much fun. Have a good week. See you then, and hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day. And I would just want to say thanks to all those that have served and that served today. I appreciate you. See you next week. Bye-bye.